Howdy folks, Kellogg here. I'm out here trolling at Folsom Lake. It's mid-May, so we're in that transition between spring and early summer. And I know a lot of folks that live in the Sacramento area are interested in coming out here and catching some fish. So I thought I would just share with you some of my favorite areas of the lake to fish during that late spring, early summer period, and really throughout the summer. I don't work the arms a whole lot in the summertime. Mostly I work the mouth of the South Fork, the mouth of the North Fork, and the main body. Let me point out some areas that have been consistently good for me over the years. Right now, I'm trolling into the mouth of the South Fork. I'm not gonna go up real far. I'm gonna go up maybe 1/8 of a mile, turn around and come back. I just went through all this structure here on the south side of the peninsula. That is a very good area for fast trolling. It's a good area to move through, looking for fish, looking for bait, looking for concentrations of fish, and see how those fish react to, a fast moving spoon or a fast moving rapala, something like that. Went through there this morning, caught 2 smaller rainbows, marked scattered bait, marked a lot of fish that I think are smaller rainbows, and I even seen some up on the surface like slurping insects or something floating on the surface. 99% sure those were trout. There were 2 of them, and they looked about the same size as the fish I'd caught, maybe 12 inches long, something like that. So from there, I'm gonna move into the mouth of the South Fork. When I come out, I'm probably gonna work that south side of the peninsula again, but I'm gonna come out a little bit. My first pass, I tried to keep the boat in about 50, 60 feet of water. My next pass, I'll come out deeper. Now, I just marked some pretty nice fish right here at the mouth of the South Fork, and there's a little bait there. Those could well be salmon, so you gotta kind of keep those areas in your mind, kind of make note of them as you see them when you're out here and you start prospecting first thing in the morning. That might be a place I want to come back to, slow down, drop some hoochies and blades, and see if those are indeed salmon. The fish were down 40, 50 feet, and there was some scattered bait around, so that is a good sign. Now, let me draw your attention to a couple other areas. I'm going to turn on my GoPro for this. Just kind of turn here. This might be a little awkward. I don't know how well this is going to show up through the GoPro. Right over here, we have the Browns Ravine launching facility, and right over there, we have the Folsom Point launching facility. There's a riprap dike between those 2 launching facilities. That area has a lot of structure. It has a lot of submerged, channels in there. If there's bait in that area, you can almost always pick up trout over there, and occasionally I'll pick up some salmon over there as well. But that's been a very consistent, very good area for trout, success for me over the years. Last summer I did very well in there. I fished that a lot of the days I was out here. I started out right there, right off that riprap, and caught a lot of trout. Caught a little brown trout over there. First brown trout I'd ever caught in Folsom Lake. So that's a very good area to prospect. Over to the right or north of that, you're going to see the main dam, the main spillway, and then that new spillway. The riprap along that new spillway can be very good for trout, and I've picked up some really nice salmon over there. So that's a good area. Out here in open water, you're looking for bait and you're looking for suspended marks. If you see that, decent chance that salmon, could be trout, but you want to mark areas like that. If you're not seeing anything out there though, just blind trolling out in that open water, you can be successful, but it's really hit and miss. There's a lot of water out there and nothing to hold the fish. Now looking way back behind me towards Granite Bay, the tip of the peninsula can be very good. The north side of the peninsula, the tip of the peninsula can be good. And that area basically from the spillway back towards those big white banks at Granite Bay. There's a lot of structure in there. I haven't done super well on salmon over there, but up in that structure, if there's scattered bait around, I've done very well on rainbow trout in there. So those are some of the areas I work. I will tell you that the key presentations out here for me, 1 is spoons, and 2 is blades and my white shad tubes tipped with some kind of bait, whether it's anchovy strips or my favorite mackerel strips. Those are my number one, and oh, I just got hit on my lead core. Those are my number one, oh, fish on the lead core. So, woo, that's a feistier fish. I'll bet that's a rainbow. But the spoons, like I'm pulling right here, and the blade and the shad tube, those are my two strongest presentations out here during the summer. Soft plastics will work on the rainbows, but I don't know that here at Folsom they work any better than the spoons. You know, it's very, ooh, that's a nicer fish. Let me grab the net here. Grab the net while I'm talking. It's very important to have a good sonar unit. Oh, I hope I didn't lose that fish. Oh no, he's there. It's very important to have a good sonar unit out here with a topo map. Because I will tell you that those salmon, oh, here he comes. Oh, that's a nicer rainbow on the trigger spoon and the turbo flasher in that Wonder Bread color. Oh, right there. Woo-hoo! I will tell you that to catch salmon out here consistently, it's very important that you're able to see the structure. I catch more salmon out here holding on structure than holding around bait. Now, I know a lot of guys, they consistently find their salmon out here on bait, and that's a great way to go. But as I call it fishing on faith a lot of times, and I'll be fishing areas that aren't showing any marks, but I am trolling along deep structure. I might have my lines down at 50, 60 feet, and you know, I'm near a hump that's dropping into maybe 100 feet of water, if that makes sense. The salmon that aren't feeding, they're in that deeper water, they're down there, they're just chilling, they're being inactive, and when they decide to feed, they'll move up on that structure to hunt, and I catch a lot of fish doing that, and that would be very difficult to do without a good topo map on the sonar. Let me show you this fish. We'll get him revived and get him back in the water. Nice little Folsom Lake planter rainbow. Hopefully he'll grow up to feed on the bait in here and become a really nice big fish with a nice square tail. But we'll get him revived and get him back out there. It's important as we move into the summer months, guys, whether you're at Folsom or anywhere else, if you're catching fish down deep, that fish was probably down at 15, 17 feet, something like that. Take the extra minute if you're going to release him to revive that fish. I've just got him in the net. Get this little GoPro going here. I've just got him in the net there, and he's upright in the net, and I'm just trolling him through the water, letting him kind of rest and get that oxygen. Now see, he's starting to swim there. He's starting to get active. He's ready to go. And I always try to give him a little poke in the tail as they come out of the net. And that seems to shock them a little bit, and it encourages them to go down. So you'll often see me do that when I release a fish. You'll see me give the net a little lift. That's, I'm trying to hit that fish just lightly on the tail and put a little scare in him and make him kind of shoot off. Rainbows are notorious for they'll just go limp and just float even though nothing's wrong with them. And I find that if I revive them like that, give them a little bump on the tail, they tend to go down and they don't float. You don't want them floating. If they're floating, they're going to end up inside of an eagle or something like that. So let's see here. Let me stow this net away. Let me show you what I was using on that fish just to illustrate what I was talking about just covering water. I got the Wonder Bread pattern turbo flasher on there. That's putting out vibration. And I have that chrome rudder on there, which is putting out some flash. And behind that, just a good pond smelt imitation there. Nothing too fancy, just a cop car trigger spoon. I was trolling along at 2.6, 2.7 when that fish hit. That's just a real typical pattern for me out here at Folsom Lake. I've caught hundreds and hundreds of trout right here in the mouth of the South Fork, and just added another one to the list. So I'm going to get this turbo and spoon back out here. I'm going to turn back around, and I'm going to go through all that peninsula structure again, just out a little bit deeper. To kind of sum up, if you're coming out here and you wanted me to kind of direct you to one place, the number one place during the late spring and summer, I would really advise you to work that area on the tip and both the north and south sides of the peninsula. I've caught a lot of fish through there over the years. I've caught a lot of salmon. I've caught a lot of trout. Those areas just seem to hold bait. They hold fish. When they're monkeying around with the water level at Folsom, which is, often, I think current moves through there in different ways, and the fish will hold and kind of orient to that current. I've been trying to learn how that works for years, but I know it's happening. I can tell it's happening, and I can tell by the angle of my downrigger wire and stuff like that, that sometimes I am indeed in current when they're dropping the lake level. Anyway, that's about it. If you're coming out here, you're looking for one place to troll, work that peninsula area. Don't overload yourself with all kinds of presentations. You only need 2 or 3 presentations out here in the summertime. Maybe you like rapalas, maybe you like spoons. You just need something like a spoon that you can cover a lot of water with quickly that imitates a bait fish. Trolling flies will work too. And then if you're really serious about the salmon, definitely the blade and the shad tube, a blade and a hoochie is a winning combination. You can get them on a bunch of other stuff out here, but I've been consistently successful for more than 20 years pulling those blades and hoochies out here tipped with some kind of meat. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. Just trying to give you a starting point out here at Folsom, because I know a lot of you guys are interested in it. If you're looking for gear, lead core rods, trigger spoons, blades, and more, get on over to Fish Hunt Shoot, FHSfishing.com, and we'll hook you up with what you need. And we're always here to give you advice. We're always here to, set you down the right path and provide you with the right tools to get out on the water and be successful, because we want you to catch more and bigger fish, whether that means more and bigger trout or more and bigger king salmon if you're out here at a lake like Folsom. I'm out of here for now. I got to get a salmon on here, guys. I'll catch you next time right here on YouTube.